Welcome back to another episode of Quick Picks with the Geek. I am your host, Bro Power the Geek. Oh boy, it's about to get spicy in the middleweight kitchen. We got Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Bodybags Pyfer. And this one feels like it was booked after someone at the UFC typed violence versus durability into ChatGPT. This is either going to be a coming out party for Joe Pyfer or a you forgot who I am statement from Kelvin, or both, or neither. But probably someone's going to bleed. Let's unpack this like Dana opening his wallet for the Saudis. First up, Kelvin Gastelum coming in a plus 310 underdog with a record of 19-9. Now Kelvin Gastelum is the living embodiment of the phrase, been through it. This man fought prime Israel Adesanya in one of the greatest middleweight wars of all time, and then spent the next few years getting tossed around the rankings like a hot potato with CTE. Kelvin is a vet's vet. He's got hands, he's got wrestling, he's got a granite chin, and he still walks to the cage like he just got done coaching a high school wrestling meet. The guy has never been knocked out, which is insane considering the middleweight division is like Shark Tank with head kicks. He's got 5 KOs, 5 subs, and about 11 lives because he's been in more firefights than a Marvel movie. His boxing is crisp, especially the jab-cross combo, and his hand speed is still good even if his reaction time sometimes looks like he's running on Windows 95. He went down to welterweight for a bit, which is like putting a grizzly bear on keto. It just didn't feel right. But now he's back at middleweight where he's slightly undersized but also not dying from the weight cut, so that's a win. The problem is, Kelvin lately has looked like a guy who's a step behind. Not washed, but rinse cycle's definitely spinning. Now onto Joe Bodybags Pyfer coming in a minus 395 favorite with a record of 13-3. If Joe Pyfer were a Marvel character, he'd be the finisher. He throws everything like it personally offended his ancestors. We're talking 9 knockouts, and not the pitter-patter kind, the your consciousness owes rent kind. Joe is not just a banger though. Dude has strong grappling, which you wouldn't expect from someone who looks like he only discovered books last week. Since joining the UFC, Pyfer has been quietly stacking wins, including 3 grappling matches outside the octagon because apparently fighting professionally isn't stressful enough. Now, let's talk cardio. His one UFC loss, Jack Hermanson, who basically turned into a Norwegian mattress and smothered Joe until his gas tank cried uncle. Joe looked good early, then turned into a confused Roomba by round 3. But overall, he's got the tools, power, aggression, and just enough grappling to turn you into a submission demo video if you don't take him seriously. So who wins? This fight is like a zombie movie with budget. Joe Pyfer is here to unload everything he has, and Kelvin Gastelum is here to say, "Cool story, bro," while absorbing it like it's a suntan. If Pyfer gasses, and Gastelum doesn't die of blunt force trauma in the first 10 minutes, things could get very interesting. Kelvin is the kind of guy who can eat a buffet of uppercuts and still fire back like it's round 1. He's also got the veteran savvy to clinch, dirty box, maybe even mix in a takedown or 2 if he really wants to confuse Joe and the judges. But, and it's a big but like heavyweight Derek Lewis energy, Pyfer is bigger, stronger, hits harder, and has more upside. He's not just trying to win, he's trying to make a statement like he's applying for a top 10 badge on Topology. Gastelum, he could survive. He could even grind out a win, but that path is narrow, like Kelvin's chances of ever making 170 again. Official pick, Joe Pyfer by unanimous decision. This is going to be fun, but I think Joe just overwhelms him early, lands the cleaner shots, maybe even mixes in some grappling just to show off that new multi-sport resume. Kelvin stays in there because of course he does, but he's on the back foot the whole time. I don't see Pyfer finishing Kelvin unless he finds the perfect nuke, but I do see Pyfer landing the harder shots, controlling the tempo, and maybe stealing some ooze from the crowd on his way to a solid W. Kelvin's too tough to die. Pyfer's too powerful to lose this moment. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat when the next video drops. And don't be shy. Leave a comment below and let me know who you got winning this fight. Let's see who really has the crystal ball around here. Until next time.